Exit 3, Epiphany. Front of the house meets back of the house. The Holiday Inn off the New Jersey Turnpike, Exit 3, wasn't just my first job. It was my theater, a second home. I was 16. I worked there for 6 years. The hotel opened me to many outsized personalities. The head-banging dishwasher, Hank the Hat. The cigar-chewing sous chef, Smokey. The Grateful Dead cleaning setup guy, Gary. And Elise. Oh, that Delta Zeta nymph. I wasn't close to my dad with the divorce, and so I looked to Tom the cook, who was in his 30s with shallow cheeks and light brown thinning hair. He lived in Woodbury, New Jersey, married with 2 girls. Tom raced at ACO Speedway. He could take apart an engine the way I could break down the verse of Shelley. I wasn't a man, according to Tom, until my nostrils burned with nitrous oxide. One day, I went to the racetrack. If I could tutor Tom about Keats, surely he could coach me on carburetors. While cooking, Tom would jam to Born to be Wild. Meanwhile, I would scrawl my word of the day, like fortuitous, on the menu board. Then I uplifted the mood in the kitchen with Mozart's Requiem. And on weekend mornings, Tom and I discussed the essentials, mostly my non-existent love life. While lathering the grill, he would shower advice. But nurturing rain penetrates not a mind stuck in the sand. One day, Tom also showed me how to deal with frustration. I was upset about Elise. "Do you need a shot?" he asked. We marched to the garbage area out back. When the food and beverage manager, Bud, gave him problems, he would grab a lowball glass, mark 20 paces, and let the glass go. Under the green glow of the Holiday Inn sign, the crystal shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. "Oh, that felt good," he said. I agreed with my own throw. The strike against the wall alleviated the pain. The shattered glass was never litter. It represented irony, the beauty of senselessness, and the satisfaction of defiance, especially against those who had control. Was this the equivalent of wielding a lightsaber or taming the wild thestrals, channeling my inner wildness? But wasn't my angst misdirected? At 10, I became the understudy dad. In the coming decade, I would babysit, wash dishes, drive my sister and brother hither and thither, and clean the pool, mow the lawn. Out back with Tom, I imagined lighting out, Huckleberry-like, no longer the de facto man of the house. That's hard for a grown-ass man, let alone a punk with resentment. I gazed at the sign, the glow, a beacon. Table for none. After freshman year in college, my mom planned a 3-week trip across country with my younger brother Dave and my sister Noelle. Tom requested that I piss in the Colorado River for him. Did Tom want adventure, too? If he had said, "Make sure you piss in the Grand Canyon," I would have laughed. But he added, "for me." That was huge. My mother, of course, was unaware of any such wild man influence. During that summer of 1988, I wrote a 200-page journal. After my mother recently alluded to the occasion, I reread the journal. No mention of Tom or the Holiday Inn. Why the omissions? I was old enough to feel the restrictions, the limitations. Passengers, after all, have no control over the wheel. But when we reached the south rim of the Grand Canyon on July 6th, I intended to hike to the bottom. Mom would not allow it, but I persisted. I never realized the genuine reason, however. In the journal I wrote, I tried every possible method to get my way, persuading Dave to agree with me, placing guilt trips, and stating over and over again my intentions. We planned to hike Bright Angel for 1.5 miles. I didn't have gear, boots, a knife. Nighttime would have been freezing. There were rattlesnakes and scorpions and cacti, oh my. Alas, if I had to trudge through the muck and menace of Mordor, then so be it. We stopped at the 1.5 mile rest area and refilled the canteens. The brown, curvy Colorado, tempting me, snaked below me. I skulked back without the others, angry, escaping. I wrote, "Just think if I was at the bottom of the canyon by the Colorado River, In my mind, I wanted to go further into the canyon, but I knew my mom would never allow me to do so. I would have to wait until another point in my life to hike to the bottom. Then I could do things right. Back of the house secrets. But I was off the mark. It wasn't in my mind, but in my heart. It would have fetched a premium in my hierarchy of manliness. Urinating in Colorado may seem lame, but a man I had respected had requested the task, so the task had to be respected, and in my heart fulfilled. When my mom caught up with me, she was pissed. I wrote, "She had good reason to be mad, and she was right, I admit that." I was living at home, commuting to college, working 30 hours a week, and other kids didn't seem to have it so tough. I was angry, resentful. I was also lonely. I missed my coworkers, missed Elise, Hank the Hat, Gary, Smokey, and Tom. Perhaps Mom was frustrated she had to deal with an adult. I was 19, and she no longer had to negotiate with any other adult. I was like an ignored spouse, full of recriminations, but not about sex and money, but time. And 3 weeks is a long time to be caught in that crucible. Mom cut the visit short to the Grand Canyon. We drove to Mesa Verde for the cliff dwellings. Why did I lie? The journal was the family record, and Tom was private. Was the father question still sensitive? Did I want to protect Mother? Or that divorce was the best thing for us all? Writing the journal was like sitting in the front row. The action impossible to see the whole screen, but now that I'm 32 rows back, and well, the perspective widens. A loyalty program. I still feel that yearning. I think back to those who helped me, those with names and smiles forgotten, those who stood outside the walls of family, who may have encouraged me more than family. In the future, when I'm leading my wife, Mary Jane, and 2 girls, Catherine and Sarah, along Bright Angel Trail, one of them may complain, "Dad, why do we have to go to the bottom?" Because I need to go to the bathroom. I spent 7 years at the Holiday Inn. Tom saw beyond the fool. Sometimes when I drive through Woodbury, I think about my drag racing Yoda. "Hey, Tom, I still haven't learned how to fix my car, but I did drive by Acco Speedway the other night, and I did smell nitrous oxide." Too bad it's now closed. Anyway, because of Tom, I feel more of a man, and somehow I want to thank him, as here in the story, even if I haven't yet pissed in the Colorado.
Hey, readers, listeners, thank you so much for stopping by. It's Walter Bound, of course. Thanks for drawing some of my pictures. There were like pictures from various trips to the Grand Canyon. And if you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Keep traveling out there and keep family always number one. Cheers.